There are stories that sleep beneath stone and ash. They whisper to no one. But when they wake, they do not come back alone. This is not a story I want to tell. But someone opened the book, and now the silence is broken. It wasn't ink this time. No words, no letters, just a shimmer. A page that looked smooth like glass, but when I leaned closer, it breathed. I thought it was reflecting candlelight, until I noticed the flame flickered twice in the page, but only once on the wick. I reached out without meaning to. My fingers brushed the surface, and it rippled like a pond disturbed by memory. Then I saw it. A face, my face, but not quite mine. The eyes in the reflection weren't just watching. They knew me, and they hated me. My mouth stayed still, but the reflection spoke. Words I didn't say, in a voice I've only heard once in my life. When I stood over my own grave, it said, I stumbled away, but the page, it followed. Not physically, no. The shimmer was still, but in my mind it turned with me, like it had latched onto me. I blinked, and the shimmer filled with her. Evangeletta, not drawn, not imagined, there. Her eyes looked right through me, not as the man I am, but the monster I tried to forget. She didn't speak, not with lips, but somehow I heard her, and she said, he left me buried alive. I wanted to close the book, but the page wouldn't turn. It was no longer a diary, it was a mirror. And it was showing me what I refused to remember. If I read on, I know I won't be the same, but if I don't, I'll never know what she became. The moment I touched the page, the room vanished. No light, no sound, just pressure, like being pulled under ice. Then flashes, not mine, not dreams. Memories, and they came fast. A scream ripped from someone's throat like it had claws. Then soil everywhere, pressed to the mouth, swallowed like breath. A hand, pale and shaking, glowing up through the dirt, fingernails torn, skin split, and above her, nothing. Just stars, cold, watching, doing nothing. I felt her terror, her rage. It didn't pass through me. It rooted inside me, and I understood. This wasn't a vision, It wasn't showing me what happened, it was planting it in me. I tried to pull my hand back, but the page gripped tighter. Then I saw her face, Evangeletta, beneath the dirt, eyes open, lips blue, but still mouthing a word. My name like she'd known it long before I was born. They weren't my memories, but they hissed like they were. At first, it was just ink, a thin line curling across the page, like a vein finding its shape, then another, and another, until a face began to bleed through. Eyes, nose, lips. Her. Evangeletta didn't rise from the page. The page remembered her, like it had trapped her in ink, holding her breathless between margins. She didn't look at me, she looked through me. Her lips parted, slow, deliberate, and I swear I felt the breath of her voice against my cheek. He left me, buried, alive. The word didn't echo, it reverberated inside my bones. I felt the soil in my lungs, the panic in her chest, the fingernails scratching upward through centuries of rot. She showed me everything, not in images, in sensation. The silence above her, the serenity of the stars, and when she screamed under the earth. No one came. I wanted to speak, to say I didn't know, but my throat was closed, my mouth wouldn't move. Because somehow, deep down, I did know. She was wearing red, the same dress I saw her in at the ball, but now it was covered in dust and silence. The crypt was cold, but the stone was new, freshly sealed. Still angry with the hand that laid it. She wasn't dead, that's what froze me. Her eyes, open, not blank, not gone. She knew what was happening to her. There was no ceremony, no weeping, just the scrape of stone, the suffocating finality of mortar pressed into silence. I saw the outside of her coffin, then the inside. It was not a resting place. It was a prison, a verdict. And the one sealing it wasn't a stranger. It was him, my vampire. Younger, sharper, colder. He didn't look angry or sad, just resolved. Like this was the only way to end something that could never die. Her mouth opened, she screamed, but it was muffled by centuries. I couldn't hear it, but I felt it in my chest, like my ribs had become hers. She clawed at the lid, fingertips raw, red against red. Why would he do that? Why would she show me this? And what does she want, now that I've seen it? I remember the sound my boots made when I stepped back into the crypt. The stones still knew me. The air hadn't changed, but I had. I came alone. No ceremony, no torch, just silence. And a weight in my chest that felt older than breath. She was still, perfectly still, not asleep, not dead, waiting. I didn't come back to save her. I came back to see if she had forgiven me. She hadn't. Her eyes opened. No surprise, no fear. Just the kind of silence that grows sharp enough to bleed. I set the blade down, between us, like a memory I didn't want to carry anymore. I thought maybe time would have dulled her anger, that maybe her grief had finally frozen into peace. But peace doesn't survive in the dark. Not here. Not between us. Love doesn't stop the dark. It just teaches it your name. At first, I thought she was guiding me through his memories. The vampire who turned against her. The one who walked away while she screamed beneath the soil. But this wasn't the past. I pulled my hand back, but the page held on. Then I saw it, my face, reflected on the shimmering page like a mirror, warped by truth. But something was wrong. My lips weren't moving, my eyes weren't mine, and just behind me, her, Evangeletta. Not as she was, but as something older, angrier, watching me not through time, but through blood. That's when I understood. She wasn't showing me his sins. She was showing me what I was becoming. Not a victim, not a hero. A vessel. Her story wasn't finished. It was taking a new shape, and I was being rewritten. At first, I thought it was fire, a red pulse across the page, like breath, like life. But it wasn't warm, it was cold, so cold it screamed. The ink bled backward. The letters didn't just disappear, they recoiled. As if the book was erasing itself from existence, as if it knew what was coming. Then the mirror cracked, not like glass, more like ice underfoot, splintering, groaning, warning, and that's when I saw it. Not words, not spells, but her face, her smile, etched across the page like frostbite, familiar, cruel, patient. Evangeletta didn't write this diary to remember. She wrote it to summon. And now, it isn't just ink, it's hunger, bound in centuries of silence, pages lined with blood and betrayal. I'm not reading the story anymore. I'm inside it. It's not a book. It's not memory. It's not history. It's a weapon, and she just loaded it with me. If I turn the next page, I don't know if I'll still be human. The page didn't turn, the pen didn't move, but the words, they appeared. One by one, like blood soaking through cloth, like something beneath the surface trying to speak. You buried her. Now dig. Memories I don't remember, sins I never committed, etching themselves across the page like confessions. The ink wasn't red when I opened this diary, but now it bleeds and it knows my name. Every page I read feels less like a record and more like a sentence, a punishment, a curse. She's not asking for answers. She's demanding a debt. And the worst part is, I think I deserve it. This isn't about finding her. It's about unearthing what I buried to survive. The line didn't just appear, it wrote itself, in my voice. I burned the diary, I buried it, in salt and silence, but every night, it's back on my desk. Breathing, waiting, and now the walls are writing back. Finish me, they say, and I think I already did.